Hey, what's up guys, NPS3D here and welcome back a new tutorial. Actually the concept is not a new, but the tutorial is new. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial and I will cover a lot of techniques how to create this circuit animation and the circuit board actually. And the concept is inspired by the Andrew Kramer, the founder and the CEO of Video Copilot, and here is his result. You can see a lot of detailing. Actually one more result is also here. Alright, so let's try to recreate it. Let's see the preview what we are going to create today.
Audio Jungle.
I hope you enjoyed the preview, and here is my YouTube channel, and you can see it's about to complete 10,000 subscribers and I'm excited. So here we are inside After Effects and let's recreate it. So make a new composition, 9020 by 1080, 30 frame I am choosing, and duration 6 seconds, and you can choose whatever you want. So let's try to make 10 seconds. We can adjust it also in later. Control Y for new solid and it will be element 3D, and just select the layer, press Ctrl space for the effects console, and it is a utility plugin from Video Copilot and you can download it from Video Copilot. It's 100% free. So let's search element 3D. Here we need a texture for the plate, actually the circuit plate. So here is our circuit texture. I will provide it, so make sure you check the description for how to download this one, right? So I'll put the link to download this circuit texture. So put this texture in a new comp, and this is the circuit texture, right? And you can see the texture is here. Go to the comp 1 and just put the circuit comp here, texture comp here. Choose the element 3D layer and go to the custom layer, custom texture map, and choose circuit texture. Go to the scene setup and just create a new plane. So the size will be the same. Actually I'm not going to increase it, and just apply the texture on here. So go to the diffuse layer and choose that, right? I'm going to start off the grid actually. So off the grid, here you can see the texture, right? So here is one more option called glossiness, so I'm going to choose the same texture, right? So you can just adjust it a little bit, okay? And here is one more option called put the same texture in the occlusion also, alright? And make the contrast little bit and the brightness little bit more. Actually turn down the contrast and increase the brightness little bit more, like this one, right? So you can see now it's like a circuit board. So come over here, the glossiness section, increase the environment multiplier and increase the reflectivity little bit, switch to the black and the glossiness full. So anyways, this is it, and we can increase or decrease or just adjust few more things in later also, right? Glossiness, let's see what we can do. Make it little bit glossy, you can see, right? So it's okay, fine. So let's make the circuit. So here is a thing actually. So go to the UV mapping and UV. So you can choose to polygon XG, and if you want to increase 5 by 5 or maybe 2 by 2, so it will create a heavy circuit board actually. plate, I mean the plate or board, whatever you can say it, right? And in future, I mean in few upcoming more step, if you want to increase more, you can definitely do it like this, right? So leave it 2 by 2 for this. For let's put 2 by 2 now for now. So let's create our board. So the basic concept for creating the board parts is the primitives. So here is we have a box cylinder, alright, so we can use it. So first we'll create a box, no smoothing, and turn down the temper 0, and maybe a little bit, just a little one, just a little bit actually, and just press R for scaling and just turn down the scale. So put this box in somewhere around these circuit lines, right? And make a different size of this. So let's duplicate this and just scale it down a little bit more. Duplicate one more time. You can see we are creating a very different size of and very different types of box, and we have one more primitives and one more thing you can do it. So select the box, and here is the option called optimize mesh. So you can check for every model. So because we are going to create some complex and some heavy all around of these heavy models, right? So our scene will be definitely going to be slow. So here is a one more option called the cylinder optimize mesh, and the cylinder is here. So let's down the cylinder. Actually, let's down it like this. So this will be going to be very small, so I'm not going to increase more segment. Maybe we can just do 30, so let's go to the 40, but it's enough. So place it somewhere around here. And just duplicate and place this. Make one more copy here, and this gonna be a little small and a big actually. Let's duplicate one more time. So you got the idea what I'm doing actually. Let's do some more works with these primitives, right? So I'm going to just fast forward this, and I hope you know what I'm working on. So let's create more. And once you done some few primitives, and you just make them randomly, so what you can do, just select all of these, right? Select all of these, and this is the first primitives, and make both things in a group, in the same group actually. And first primitives, make this again in a new group, all right? Or just select the first primitive and just duplicate it. So make the gizmo in a right place. So I'm going to lock the gizmo first and move something around a middle, right? Unlock it and just Control D or just Alt and just move it here or rotate it so it's not look like similar, and select this both again and duplicate it and rotate it actually. Something like this. You can see, you got the idea, right? So this is the actually concept and what you can do. So now we have a 4 copies, so select this 4 and make in a new group, right? And make this group in a new group also and make it symmetry. So select the first, this one is a base models and just make the symmetry in a 2 directions, so G and X, so G and X. Alright, so now you can see we have a lot of smaller primitives. Now let's arrange it. Make this base model again in a new group and make this group again in a, I think, X direction. So now you can see or just leave it and just go here and duplicate again. So now we can duplicate again or rotate it. So you can see it's a full of the primitives. Now we have to texture it, so I'm going to make this cylinder in a glossy chrome material and this is gonna be a dark matte black material. So we did wrong. If we did a texture in starting, so we don't face any problem in later, but we missed. But anyways, we have to do it manually. So go here first, just open this and go to the physical material and apply it. So you can see I just make the cylinder in a chrome material. Now we have to change the box in a black material, but I want to do something more. So go inside the motion design 2 and here is few of more models so we can input in our scene. We can just put in our scene actually. So go to the components and here is the component number 9. So let's put this in our group. So select this one because we made a lot of copies in here and just so go here and let's put this in our scene. Remove unwanted object. So press Ctrl and just click here. So remove this one and also these things. Alright, so let's leave this now. Alright, so let's go again in a first copy right here and let's add few more objects. So go inside the take components and here are few more. So just like this one and this one. So take machinery, I'm going to input it. So optimize mesh. And when you done adding motion design to objects, so for better experience you can install a processor. So I mean just install a processor actually. So let's install it. I'm going to use first this one, cut it, go to the base model option, go inside the group folder and just down it little bit. So I think our processor installed properly. Alright, so let's move on next step and let's leave it here. Right, so let's add texture in our box. So you can see all things installed in our kit, and few more things you can do. You can just install few more this sci-fi machine components inside in around this processor, so it will be looks good. So I'm going to do that. So install this one. And you can install a little bit more in everywhere if you want. Little more. Here is a lot of tech components, so you can install if you want. So this is the idea actually. So I think everything is done. So hit OK. Control S to save the project. And let's add a new camera in our scene. Go to the 35mm and switch to the half elevation and the preview mode. Go to the helmet layer solid setting and make the comb size switch to the quarter elevation. Control S to save it. Go to fit. So go again NPS3D scene setter and let's add a new environment layer environment. Let's add a new environment and let's check it. Yeah, this looks good, but let's see. Few more. Go to the environment and let's try to desaturate it, and go to the UV repeat and just make 2. Let's make 3. Let's go with the 4. Hit OK. So if I will rotate it. Remove unused material, and make sure when you apply a material, so if you are going to make the cylinder in chrome, so apply one material in every cylinder so we can work. If we want any customization in the cylinder, so let's see here, so it will affect every cylinder. You can see, so it's fine. So I'm going to this one, right? And I like to change the base actually. So go, where is the base? This plane model, and I'm going to repeat the UV 3 by 3, actually 4 by 4. So now we have a lot of circuits going on, alright, and this looks good. Hit OK and switch to the half resolution. Go to the render setting, environment lighting, and I like to increase the exposure to, it's okay, fine. And the rotation environment, I will rotate it definitely, but first let's import a new light, and this is gonna be a ambient light, and the intensity 100. And let's add a new light, and this is gonna be spotlight, and intensity 500, and make it a little bit blue. Let's see how it's look, and make sure cast shadow on, and go to the render setting and the shadow and enable it, and choose to the ray trace shadow. And let's try to bright this board a little bit. To go again in scene setup, so and go to the base model, the plane model here, and select the material, and reflectivity I'm going to use white, right, increase. And increase the diffuse color a little bit more, and change the environment layer again. Let's go with this one. So go to the lighting, physical exposure, and put 1. And the gamma I'm going to put 0.4, not 0.4, 1.5. Control S to save this, and go to scene setup, and let's make it a little bit, and make the environment layer a little bit on bright. Actually fine, so looks good for me. And this is the blue light, actually the casting shadow, right? So let's add a new null object and press F4 and make it 3D and parent camera to the null and press R to open the rotation properties of null, and let's apply to the Y rotation and go 5 seconds actually and make it 1. So go to the element 3D and just camera and zoom it a little bit more. This camera transform, reset it. Control Z. P for position of null. And let's position this. Somewhere around middle. Right, so this is the good position actually. So I'm happy with the position, right? So now we have a few more options to animate it. So just like what we can do, you can just go to the group 1, particle look, particle rotation, and add a rotation, a Y rotation actually. Go to the 8 and just make it 1 actually. So this will also rotate along with, right? So what few more steps left to finish the tutorial actually. So go to the light 2 and here's the intensity. So if you not happy with the intensity, you can change it to the red, you change it to the any color which you want, green, yellow, orange, red. So let's go with the orange, I mean just a red one. I like this red one. And what you can do more for filling the area, this area, you can just remove outside of this, you can remove outside object and put here. So go to the element 3D scene setup and let's see which things we are not getting in scene. I don't think this area is coming, so I'm going to off it. It's coming. This is also coming. Off this area also. Of this area also. Let's bring this area in close and let's small this. You can add more here, but it's fine, it's okay. You got the idea, right? So what you can do it more, so we can increase the Vegas effect, just like a stroke effect I did actually. So here is one more thing we can do in our render. So go to the render setting and here is a ambient occlusion option, so enable it and just make it a ray traced. Alright, and just intensity 1, maximum distance 145 actually. Let's make it 100. Ray trace comma 2, contrast 1. Fine, it's good now. And here is one more option, AO light influence, make it 100, 1000% or just 500. And go to the render setting, output option, render setting, and here is the sampling and make it 2 to smooth out the edges. Right, looks good now. And almost few little more things are left, just only. So our animation is only 5 seconds, so trim comp that area. Let's animate the environment also. So go to the render setting, physical environment, and make the rotation of environment X, Y, and Z. Go to the 5 second and just make it 1 and just fine. So this looks perfect. This looks perfect for me, and I hope you also like it. Like number 2 is posting from me. And if you want, you can increase the intensity also. I am just going to turn down the ambient light intensity. So you can see how it's coming. Looks perfect and looks different. So when I off the ambient, so where the light is coming, it's creating a different and good result actually, and looks, I like it. So let's put something around 45 and hit OK, and let's add a wiggle expression on the camera, so whenever it will move, it will create a better and good result. Go to the Element3D scene setup. Let's bright up a little bit more. Control Z. So what we can do now, you can go to the Element3D and just rotate the environment a little bit more. So press U, come over here and rotate the Y environment in 3 times. And let's try to change the light to in a way. Go to the Element3D scene setup again, and let's try a different environment actually. It's okay, good. So you can see it's also looking good. Control S and save it. And let's brighten it a little bit more, and go to the I'm in the blending mode and make it screen. So looks good now, and you can see it's rotating actually. So now the next step is we can create the Vegas line effect, but I'm going to leave that because the tutorial is getting long. And let's add some final touches. So let's duplicate the element 3 layer and just make it illumination. Add this one and go to here and just add a glow effect. Ingredient and just add it. I know this is happening just because of light. I'm going to just hide the adjustment layer because it's creating problems, so delete it and NPS3D and just apply a glow effect on this layer. And make the intensity down. Just duplicate the layer. Duplicate the layer. Just duplicate it again. And unsolo it. So it's good. If you want to make this ready, you can also do it. Let me show you how. Just add a tint effect and make it upper. And just make this white into a red. And you can see this is getting a red. And I like this one, this red. So hit OK. Control S. And this looks good. And let's add a depth of field. So make this in a half resolution. And go to the camera options and just enable the depth of field. And just key to the focus distance. Go to the here and just this is actually the coffee lake processor. So actually the coffee lake, I think there's a coffee lake, and you can create one more light also, but it's okay, fine. And one more last thing, what I did in our final example for the waves up the glow. So I just duplicate the copy. Alright, select this and just hide all this glow and go to the scene setup. And I just hide all other groups. and also here. Only this one, and hit OK. And now let's add a CC, a radial fast blur, and make the brightest and increase it something around 90, and just apply a fast blur and just put this before the radial fast blur and increase to the something around 4. So you can see before and after. And now if I just solo it, so you can see this looks amazing. I'm going to just put this in a screen mode. So this is the idea for that particular things. And let's select all of these and just select all things and just pre-compose, and let's add a new adjustment layer and just go to the RGB and let's add a radius 2 and the distortion maybe 2 actually also, and a new adjustment layer, lumetri. Just let's leave the lumetri, and let's add a curves effect again. Let's add a curves effect. Let's go to the red label and just down it. Just make it. Go to the blue and just increase the blue one. Something around here. Go to the green one, just down the green. So I can say this is the final one, and let's new solid and 888 and make this a stencil, and here is our final one. Alright, so the tutorial is finished, and I hope you like the result, and I hope you like the idea, and I think you got it, and you can also create it and animate it according your own imagination. So if you create it, if you create any result or any work like this, please tag me on Instagram or just leave a comment so I can see your work also. And thanks for supporting me, thanks for loving me. I am NPS3D, and we will see you next time with a great tutorial.